that, other soap trees and flower trees and these little ones here representing the tui. Well, I call them tui. I don't know their proper technical name, but I call them the toothbrush tree because that's how we brushed our teeth traditionally, using that. But what can you buy from the shop that you can use for multiple different purposes? That you can brush your teeth, you can make cord, you can make baskets, you can make rope. Nothing you can buy in the shop that you can do that. Even our traditional soaps, you can make damper, you can make flour, and you can wash your hands at the same time. You can't go into the supermarket, Aldi's and Coles and things like that, and you can't go and find any product that have multiple uses for them. But it's all eco-friendly, plastic-free, vegan-friendly, all these various different labels that they have on it. It's on our traditional stuff as well too. So when we think about, country in aspects, but our weaving basketry, what we make our baskets and stuff out of them. Now the kungri, the black swan, that totem actually comes from Wellington and Tailem Bend, like in between there, and it comes up into Strathalbyn. And so Strathalbyn is sort of the most northern point of Ngarrindjeri boundary. And as it going up to Strathalbyn, it then goes up into what is now Rockley and all that, Manano, up into near Manham, and then it comes back along the Coorong down to Kingston, and then right around to Kangaroo Island, then back up through the Flurio. And so as I'm depicting what's in our boundary, and then these little ones, Wachi Pularis, they were the little people, Tangani people, and they were only friendly to children. Only children could see them and doctor people could see them. But they were pranksters. And when you're walking, going out hunting, they'll throw stones at you. And as they throw the stone at you, they quickly flee into the reeds and into the bush. And they only come out at night. They never ever come out at day because they was always scared of daylight. But they lived up in the hilly country. They lived right up where our people didn't want to venture up into, because, it's far away. But there's really nothing up other than when they're journeying to travel over and or doing backburns and hunting and things like that. But they wouldn't live so far up on the hills, So they lived up in the hill country. And the only time they come out is night, but they had under secret little tunnels that come down to the water. And only the doctor men and women could smell them and see them. And they were brutal. They would come and whisper and talk to them. And as they're talking to them, they'll give them a headache. As they're giving them a headache, they go down, they grab the fire light. As they're grabbing the fire stick, they move it around so they can scare them and get rid of them, And as they light multiple different fires so that the light can sort of keep them away. But they would come down, if they were being a menace, they would come down and they would make your night terrible sometimes, But when they would throw stones and things like that at you, our old people used to say only the people could see them and talk with them were children. And they were only friendly to children. And if children were sort of left behind as the family was moving on, they would always make sure that they were cared for. They would always make sure that they would get them back to their family. They always looked after them. They would, that was sort of their, I suppose, because when we think about the little people, they can sort of relate to somebody their own size, their own height. And so they looked up, you looked out for them. They always made sure if they were in harm or anything like that, lived by the water or anything, they always get them back safely, So the Tanganis is what the blue wrens were before they were turned into blue wrens. So when Narunderi had put his canoe up into the sky and made the Milky Way, he had then heard the reeds. So that's why there's lots of grass-like symbols here, because they heard the reeds moving around. And as they were whispering, he was like, ooh, that. He opened up the reeds. He couldn't see them. He only seen their shadows quickly fleeing from side to side. So he said, show yourself. They didn't show themselves. He said, show yourself. They didn't show themselves. He said, Nang, Wachi Pulleri. And he turned them into all the blue wrens and fairy wrens, and they all come flying up out of the reeds. And that's why they still live amongst the reeds there today. But he didn't catch all of the Tanganis. they're still around. They're still there. They're still moving about country, and that's what we call the little people, you know.